Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween 2, 1981. This one is done by Rick Rosenthal. John Carpenter's there to produce, but that's all he does. Anyway, we start off with a flashback of the first one. And they're singing that song for no reason. Mr. Sandman, yes, give us a dream. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you singing this song? This is not what I want to hear. What does this have to do with Michael Myers? Long story short, it shows Laurie. She's like, I want you to go over to what'd she say, the Becker's house, and I want you to call the police and tell them to send them over here. Now, do you understand me? Go do what I say. And then Michael Myers gets up, like he sits up real slow. And then that ominous music comes on. Dun 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 dun. And they want you to be scared, but I'm really not. It's like dun 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 dun. And he's looking at her, and he's breathing real hard, like he has asthma. He's like, what's with the hard breathing? Why did the offenders do that? Like, what's up with that? I don't understand why they did that back in the day. They don't really do that too much anymore. So it's showing you a flashback. She's, being choked by Michael Myers, and she pulls his mask off. And you discover that he's some weird looking guy with a swollen eye. He kind of looks Spanish. And I was like, I didn't know Michael Myers was a Latino. Not that I have a problem with that, but I just, I don't know. He looked Spanish when they did that scene. And like I told you, Dr. Loomis shoots him. He falls out the window. Now, this is my favorite part here. Rick Rosenthal, the director of Halloween 2 and Halloween Resurrection, emphasizes the fact that Michael Myers has disappeared from the scene. And he winds up in another part of Haddonfield, Illinois. He's not there anymore. And Dr. Loomis is like, you don't know what death is. And they play this gothic version of the Halloween theme. I wasn't impressed by that. It takes a lot to impress me. You have to impress me, as a viewer. I'm not impressed with this. A guy in a mask. So basically, he follows her to the hospital this time. And I've always wondered how he knew she was at the hospital. You want to know how he knew? He heard it on the radio. Some guy just happened to walk by him. So I ask you, and I want you to tell me, if the guy didn't walk by him with the radio, would Michael Myers have found Laurie? What do you think about that? Please let me know. I would love to know. I don't know. I can't say. Because, yeah, he's evil, and he's a demon and all that stuff, but I wonder if he would have found her. Because, I don't even think demons know everything. So that begs the question. What if the guy didn't walk by with the radio? Would he even know that she was there? He just happened to walk by. So that kind of ticked me off. I mean, and Michael Myers was a gentleman in the sequel. He didn't say, hey, watch where you're going when the guy bumped into him. He just let him live. Or maybe he was looking at the bigger picture. I don't know. So he basically lets the guy live, and he heads straight for Laurie Strode. He begins killing off the nurses one by one as they're trying to take care of her. And Laurie is not doing anything in this movie. She's just laying there. And I guess I would lay there too if I had nurses looking, watching over me. And she's not saying much. The guy, Jimmy, is trying to be nice to her. I think essentially he's hitting on her because I'm a guy, Guys know when other guys are hitting on girls. This is what he was doing. He's hitting on her. He's like, hey, can I get you a Coke? I'm gonna expect something later, but I won't mention that. It's like, hey, I'll trade you a Coke for some pie later. I give you a Coke, you give me some pie. That's what he wants. And another thing, there's a scene where a guy he does a parody of the song Amazing Grace. Like, why would you mess that song up? It's such a beautiful song. Did you really say Amazing Grace, come sit on my face? Like, why would you say that? As I said, Michael Myers kills them off one by one. And again, instead of looking after the kids, all you're concerned about is making out. You use the pool to make out in. So what does Michael Myers do? He drowns you until your face melts off. Because he turned up the heat. I think you deserved it because you weren't looking after the children. You just wanted to do your own thing. So he melts your face. The female nurse, he melts her face. And the guy, he strangled him with a piece of wire. He stabbed the other lady in the head with a syringe. Michael Myers was like the Avenger. Because all you're concerned about is sex, he then kills you. And then John Carpenter's going to get on there. We're not worried about telling a morality tale. It's not about sex. They got killed because they weren't paying attention. No, Johnny boy. They got killed because they were having sex. And little Mikey Myers didn't like that. He said, you're not going to be having sex on my watch. You're supposed to be watching the children. Michael kills everyone in the hospital. And all this time, Laurie Strode can't move. But then the minute she sees Michael Myers, suddenly she can walk now. He broke her ankle. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. He broke her ankle in the first movie. And she goes to sleep and has this creepy nightmare that she's Michael Myers' sister. If I knew that, I'd kill myself. Seriously. I would shoot myself in the head. But she runs out of the hospital screaming bloody murder. Help me, help me, help me. And of course, Dr. Loomis gets there and he tries to commit suicide to save the world. So he basically blows himself up along with Michael Myers. And that's the last time we see Jamie Lee Curtis until H2O. In saying that, I guess she's headed off to the witness protection program, where she can now dress up like a man and look like a hermaphrodite. That's what I thought she was, because that's what she looked like. She's dressing up and looking like a hermaphrodite and eating graham crackers and watching TV in California. They set Michael Myers on fire, but for now, Michael Myers is gone. And this was Halloween 2, 1981. The town is safe, or are they? I'm the Michael Myers fanatic, and I approve this message. Halloween 2, 1981. And before I go, I just want to point out one last thing. Why was Rick Rosenthal obsessed with fire? First he set Ben Tramer on fire, then he set Michael Myers on fire in this movie. And then he does it again in Resurrection. See a psychiatrist, fatty. Stop eating all those Twinkies. You're too old to be fat like that. Chill. You eat too much. I'm out.